We've been COVID-free for the last 4 weeks. There has been 1 or 2 cases in quarantine as the new flights have come in. And we've actually, we opened up 2 days ago. So it's been fantastic to have work colleagues coming in, adhering to the social distance, but yeah, moving forward, which has been fantastic.
Also utilized this period as a rebranding opportunity from Gateway Delta to Gateway Real Estate Africa. The rationale behind the rebranding?
Bronwyn, we've seen some really, really good success in the last 3 years, and there were a few connotations that were attached to the name before. There were a lot of other businesses with similar names as well, and we just thought, with the success that we've had in the last couple of years, that it was time to stand on our own. And with that, and the relaunch and the amount of projects that we've signed up to move forward in maybe the last 12 months, we just thought this was a really great platform, come up with some new positive news, and to really take this business to the next level.
Talk to me about the project delivery over this period. How has COVID-19 impacted your projects on the ground, given the fact that you operate in many countries across the African continent, just to name a few: Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Mozambique, Morocco, and I'm sure you can add to the list.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something that has been a challenge. And, when the pandemic hit, everyone, it creates a lot of chaos in all industry. But it was how we as leaders reacted to that. And, a lot of people reacted through fear, and we took the opportunity to actually sit down and re-strategize. And what we did with that is looked at every country and its nuances. Every development manager that we had came up with a strategy for that individual project. And what that allowed us to do, it allowed us to move forward amongst the chaos and the pandemic that was happening in the various regions. And what we did is we saw, in certain instances where we could bring some of the procurement or other items that were long lead items forward, we saved a bit of time at the end. The hard construction in some countries shut down completely, but there were some countries that we could still maintain and move forward. So, the likes of Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, we still managed to progress quite nicely. But there were some other countries that we had to have a complete shutdown. So we adhered to all those rules. But we maintained to move forward, and we came up with some really, really good ideas. The collaboration that we had with some of the groups that we work with, the Carrefours of the world out of Dubai, absolutely fantastic. The thought leadership that we put together, the new creative ideas that came out of this period was really amazing. So we took that opportunity with the downtime to actually probably work harder and come out with better results at the back end of it.
The trends going forward for the real estate industry. One of the big debate points I've had with many people has been how the pandemic has really gotten corporate South Africa specifically to think about the necessity of head offices, corporate offices going forward. And that, of course, plays to your turnkey development strategy.
We are sector agnostic. And what we've seen is, retail and hospitality has been more hard hit at the moment, obviously with, going almost to a zero income base on some of those. But where we focus on is the build to suit. So we are a niche product in that, we create a real estate solution. So we've seen the embassies of the world, the light industrial projects, those are still moving forward. And we haven't had much effect on that. So, going back into what the office accommodation is going to look like post-COVID, what's going to happen in future if there's a pandemic, are we going to be reducing numbers and having stay at home and shared spaces? All of that, I think it's going to take a bit of time to play out. But, we have seen corporates, real estate being it's been quite strong through this process. Yes, we do think that there's going to be an impact in office accommodation. What that's going to mean, spaces between, when you've got staff sitting and congregating in areas, I think that is going to change inevitably. But what that is going to look like, we are re-gearing our process to make sure that we are on the forefront of that technology when it comes through as well.
And besides the developments themselves, let's also just talk about the investment opportunity in the property game that you as Gateway Real Estate Africa are offering.
At the moment, our income base is hard currency, which is euros and dollars. And how we do that is through the embassies and the multinationals and globals that we work with, generally on a 10-year lease basis. And what we do is we provide that platform for multinationals and big investment companies that are looking for direct exposure in real estate in Africa. The way that we view real estate is different, in that we set up as a long-term company, not a short-term. And the reason why I make emphasis on that is we feel that real estate is a long-term play in Africa. You know, people can be successful and make good money out of real estate, but it needs to be viewed as the rest of the world views it, which is a long-term play. The people that come in and try and develop and make exorbitant returns in a very short period are generally the people that have been burnt historically. So, for us, we're setting up a business that will be here for a long period of time and hopefully far outlast me and the other people involved in the business to date. We want something that's going to be here to stay, and hence the reasons we're looking at a sustainable solution moving forward.
Greg Pearson is co-founder and CEO of Gateway Real Estate Africa.